Hello, Mr. Hollins here. I'm going to show you how to properly hold the flute. Okay, I have my flute right here, and the way that you need to hold it is first you look at the flute and you look how it's made, and you have a little key right here, and then you have a key right here. Your finger, your first finger with your left hand goes on this key. Okay, so remember that you skip this very first one and then you go to the next one right here. And this is where your first finger goes of your left hand. Okay, and so now always remember this second key right here, we skip that one as well. Okay, we skip this one as well. And our second finger goes here. Okay, so notice how my hand is kind of turning a little bit to the side like that. Okay, and then we keep going. The third finger goes right there. And now we have this key, if you see it. Now I don't press that key until I'm ready, and so my little finger just rests on that key without actually pressing it. Okay, so this is what I do with my left hand, these front keys right here. So again, we skip this very first one. First finger goes right there. We skip this one. Second finger goes right there. And then we put our third finger on this one, and our little finger rests on this key without actually pressing it. Now with our thumb, we have these two keys in the back, this one and this one. And our thumb goes on this one right here, the bottom one. Our thumb rests on that while pressing these, okay? So if you can see it, my thumb rests on that key. So again, skip this one, press that, skip that one, press that, and a little finger rests on there, and my thumb is on this one in the back, okay? Now, with the right hand, okay, let's look at it. We skip this key with the right hand, okay? And then my pointing finger, press that. Then the next key with the next finger, press that. And the next finger, press that. And then our little finger rests on these keys right here, okay? These are lower keys or lower notes, but our pinky just rests there. We don't press anything, but it rests there until we're ready to play those notes. Now, our thumb of our right hand can go under the flute to help support it so it won't wobble, okay? Also, another way to do it is you can put your thumb right there where the posts are, like that. And that's another way that many people hold their flute. So the way that I hold the flute is like a 3-point system, okay? The first point is with the soft part of my finger right here, this part of my finger, I create what's called a cradle. You know, like how you cradle a baby, you're holding a baby. So with my finger, I create something like a cradle. And right here, if you can see it, that is where the cradle is, okay? And I'm holding the flute with this part of my finger, okay? I'm holding it up right here where I would press that first little key, okay? And so that brings us to another point. One way that many flute players hold their flute is the keys are actually turning out that way, which allows you to cradle the flute better, okay? So instead of playing with the keys straight up like that, they turn the flute more like that. That way you can cradle the flute easier. So then I would press my first key, skip that one again, second key, third key, and then my thumb is playing this in the back, and I am now cradling this part of the flute with my left hand, okay? So I'm holding it up like this, okay? So this is the first point. The second point is I secure the flute from wobbling with my thumb under it right here, or kind of where the little post is. All right, and then I put my fingers in place. And notice where my thumb is. Okay, so this will be the second point that secures the flute so it won't wobble around while you're trying to play it. Okay, and then the third point is my actual mouth, like this. Okay, so this is the point 3. And notice I'm holding it with those 3 points. I'm cradling it with my left hand. I'm pushing it somewhat, if you can notice, with my thumb right there. And then I'm also holding it in place where my lips are. And notice how I can move my fingers and the flute is in place. Okay? And this is how you can hold the flute without it moving around a lot. And then finally, you want to make sure your head is straight. Notice how my arms are. Okay, you don't want to do this. You don't want to bend down, but you want your head straight. And look how my arms are up. And it's away from my head in a sense. And I'm facing forward. And you can turn your body to the side, but make sure your flute is up and your head is perfectly straight. And this is the proper way to hold the flute.